Okay everybody, hello there, Mindset Newcastle, Evans here. Another special guest for you today, someone well known in the area with an interesting story to tell, Mr. Paul Fiske. Paul, welcome, nice to have you on.
Hello sir, you're right, how you
I'm
doing?
good mate, all good in the hood. Nice to get this finally started off here. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has, but here we are, it's all good in the hood. For people that don't know you, who are you and what's your story basically?
I'm Paul Fiske, I'm owner of Flat Snoutboxing Training. We train in a gym in Benton, Newcastle. We specialise in training boxing, utilising that to lose weight, improve confidence from people. We just had our first fight night on August the 6th. We've been training through lockdown, right the way through lockdown, through the snow, and it was good to get the boys out. In the end, we put on 8 bouts, and it was a good evening of boxing. Like, good.
It was a very good event there.
You would know because you were the timekeeper, weren't you?
I was the MC, yeah. There was no pressure on that one, but it was all good in the hood. Yeah. Obviously you've been in boxing for a long time. When you were active and obviously boxing professionally as well, what was your main motivation for getting up and training and obviously putting the work in at that level? What kept you going? What did it for you?
Yeah, I think it's the same with all boxers, that you want to be fit enough to get through the fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, when you start out as a novice, amateur is 3 2-minute rounds, and you move up to 3 3-minute rounds. Then you turn pro, it's I have 4 3s, 6 3s, 8 3s, and 10 3s. So you want to be fit enough to get through that fight, you know what I mean? So you don't ever want to gas up, as it were. So that was always my motivation to be able to get through the fight and win, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, for the runs, when you're going to go out, hit the runs, hit the road, the 5 milers. The fartlegs that you've got to do, I mean, it's just relentless, like, you know what I mean? Hard work.
From what I've seen of it, it's a very different level of fitness, different headspace, everything.
It's a different sort of, I'm a rugby trainer as well, and rugby's a very specific type of training, and then boxing is just that different sort of step up, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it certainly is. And within the time when you were doing it, what's been your biggest challenges and sacrifices? Obviously, within any sport at a professional level, there's sacrifices to be made there. What have you found you to do on the way?
I can remember back from when we talked last time, when I was in the RAF, boxing for the RAF in Germany. One of the sacrifices there, because you're obviously a young man on the front out in RAF Germany, like, and you sort of work hard, play hard. So obviously the recovery after a night sesh will be a 5 miler every time. Boom, you get out there relentless just to get the drink out of your system and back in the training. And I was training with some guys there, a guy called Brian Mulholland and Ray Morley. They were real good hands, and we had some fantastic guys out there. We had a guy called Delroy Parks who won, I think it was the silver medal in the Olympics, not the Olympics, the Commonwealths. So he was there for sparring as well, so we had a fantastic array of sparring out there. Like, I think everywhere I've trained there's always been real class boys. I mean, go back to where I started at Norwich Lads Club, that had Herbie Hyde. I remember he started just before me, and then I moved away with the RAF, and when I came back he was world champion. So when we sparred then it was a little bit more vicious, like he's an absolute monster. And that was good.
Nice one. And obviously you've been mentioning a few people there in your time. Who's been your favourite opponent, whether it's been exhibition, sparring, whatever? Who's been the favourite one? Some of the people you've actually...
My favourite opponent, I'm just looking down a bit of paper up there here, just to do my auto cue. I can remember in the ABAs, obviously, I was in the ABAs for a long time, I had about 90 odd fights. I can remember getting up into the top 10s in the super heavyweights and going through that and working up. And there's a guy I fought who'd lost to Audley Harrison in the final, Nick Kendall, and we drove all the way down to I think it's just Torquay. We got down there and it was a long drive, 10-hour drive, so I jumped my sleeping bag, got my head down because I was tired after the weigh-in, and his trainer come in, so he's knackered, I'll get him in straight away. So because you're the heavyweight, you use the end of the bill, so that had been, they'd had a little sort of chat, and then all of a sudden I was on second, so I had to get up, get ready, and it was a good fight. I mean, it was 5-2s. They did the EB used to mix around the times, and that was the season that we did 5-2s with head guards. But I beat him on the majority, like a great fight. I think in the first round, I clipped him with a right hand, and as he went down, he caught me with a screw shot, and he caught me, and I went all sort of like a big sort of sort of like shaky, fell on the rope, so it was a double count, so it was quite an exciting fight for the crowd. And then I got another count on him in the 4th round, and it was majority decision as well. It was a very close fight, good fight, good battle. So that was the ABA one in the amateurs. In the pros, it was a guy I fought 3 times, Dave Faulkner, right hard fella. I fought him at Barnsley Metrodome, and I just come back from the Falklands, and I've been in like 4 months of like deep training, so I was really fit. I mean, that season it was the best season I've ever had in the pros, which is hard to get into. I got in the ring, bell rang, first 30 seconds on the deck. Fuck's it, man, you know what I mean? So I got up, Tommy screaming at me the side, my trainer and me manager, Tommy Conroy, screaming at me, giving me loads of verbal abuse and inspiration. So yeah, got stuck in, like, got through the first round, and I thought, right, sod this, I'm just going to the body, like, so I was just absolutely, it was like an old throwback. There was elbows, knuckles, headbutts, the whole lot. So proper old professional battle, and I won that one, so that was good to come back. And I remember he was a good friend and a good opponent by the end of it, do you know what I mean?
Nice one.
But that was it.
Regarding the sparring partners you've had, who've been some of the guys you've been in with there, and how was that for you?
Yeah, some of the sparring partners that I trained with, like obviously down Norwich Lads Club, there was the main man down there was obviously Herbie Hyde, who went on to win the world title. He was hard work, like he was a good friend of mine when we were younger, like he's a top man, you know, he's a real handful, very fast and very slippery and very dangerous man. You know, you never knew what was coming next with him. Obviously down there in Norwich there was a guy called Cliffy Eldon. He was a great sparring partner. Earl Wellthing he was a good sparring partner and a good pal, like. And obviously he moved up to North East. And I trained sparring partners in the RAF for John Gosling. There was we used to do a lot of rounds, and he sort of introduced me to body shots, to the old rib tickler, and I learned that from him. There's some good lads in the RF, and then obviously moved up to the North East. Fellow Warriors, I trained out there as an amateur, and then went to Tommy Conroy's in Sunderland. Used to spar over there with a guy called Ian Toby, and we must have done 1,000 rounds together. And he's a real good friend as well, and we did some good work.
Nice one.
And that was it, mate. Yeah, some real sparring partners tend to become your best friends as well, like, do you know what I mean? So
that's
bizarre when you bat hell out of each other and get out on your best pals, you know what I mean? So,
and for a pint afterwards.
That's it.
And regarding exhibition bouts, who have you been in with that?
Yeah, I had fortunate enough to get offered 2 exhibition bouts. The first one was at February with Tony Tucker, who was an ex-world champion who fought Mike Tyson and lost on the split decision. He was very slick, and he fought Herbie actually before, and I was in the training camp when Herbie fought him, and Herbie bashed him in the second round, I think, and he was not unconscious, but he was still feeling the effects like 3 or 4 hours later. So I seen him in the reception. He had a bit crack, and he wasn't right then. So he was very slick. And then I fought a guy called Tim Witherspoon who fought the old British fighter Fran Bruno, and actually on the way to the ring, I ran in an old friend of mine, Terry French, one of my old sparring partner coaches from the Fellow Warriors. Like, he ran up, he said, "Go on, Fiske, have a go at him." So I had that in my mind when I got in the ring, and looked at him, and I thought, here we go. And got stuck in, and we had it was a good 3-2, after 3 or 4 twos, I can't remember how long it was now, but that was a good fight. And then afterwards, we went upstairs in the changing rooms and had a good crack, and about 45 minutes, 2 times, all about Mike Tyson, Don King and that was worth its weight in gold, like, do you know what I mean? I still speak to him now. He's still speaking on Facebook and social media, like, so
that's good enough. Nice.
He's a good man, do you know what I mean?
Spot on. And a big question for you here, anything you know now you wish you'd known earlier in your career?
Yeah,
Right,
obviously we're boxing, so it's moving up in hit, you know what I mean? So it's which is obviously what you try and teach your boxers. We're working here today. We've done very basic stuff, obviously the block and parry and jab and moving. You just try and teach your boxers that, and obviously that technical sort of excellence you're trying to give, you then take into the fight, and then hopefully they pay you back and do it. Do you know what I mean? That's
good stuff. Thanks for that. And you had your first event on the 6th of August, just recently.
Yep.
How was that go? How was that?
It went very well, apart from the first day, the day before, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I got a phone call, I was getting my hair cut, in the time, not time, the MC pulled out because he'd just been tested with COVID. So I thought, Christ, who do I know? And I thought, and Alice Gobshay, who used to be like a mystery man over in Tenerife doing the hypnotism, which is Mr. Cy Evans. So
thanks for the shout, I appreciate that.
He stepped up, did an amazing job, really good job, and you got to do the next one as well, isn't it?
Yeah, looking forward to it. So yeah, cheers. It was good fun.
It
was trial by fire, but the whole night was successful, and I believe raised £1,250 for SAFA.
Yeah, we're just going to SAFA, which is the Armed Forces charity, which I'm really pleased about. They helped me out a few years ago, and I always wanted to repay them and put some money back into the SAFA pot. So yeah, it was really good.
Nice
really
one. And the next event is on the 26th, is that right?
Yeah, we're hoping to have a fight night 2 on the 26th of November. Everything's going according to plan at the moment. Like, we haven't any pull-outs yet, even though it's miles away. But we've got the hotel sorted and that, so yeah, it should be good. Just trying to get a few fights for the charity event.
Yeah. We'll put links to all this stuff here in the video as well, guys, so please click on there for tickets, information, etc. For anybody out there looking at this, watching the video, or thinking about learning boxing, what can you offer them?
Obviously, the main thing is we've got this fight night thing going on now, so if they come and train with us, we can teach them boxing and get fit and get fit to fight as well. So then we've had quite a few, there was about 10 of the guys that have been training through COVID, and we sort of like had this plan to put this show on. And it was like a motivation to get through COVID, run the snow and that, teaching them boxing skills, and then when we come back in the gym, we got into the sparring, sort of talking the sparring fitness as well. So then they took that into the ring, and all of them performed really well. I mean, it was a good quality show.
It was a good night. It was a successful night.
There's no really stuck out. You thought, well, they shouldn't be in the ring. Like, everybody did well, and they all sort of stepped up to the plate in terms of fitness and technique. Which the technique is obviously the thing you're worried about. People go up for the first fight, but some of the guys were like 46 years old. That was the oldest guy at 46. 43, 36, 34. Do you know what I mean? There's all the guys, and we've got some young guns coming through as well, so it was good to get them in and bring them into the boxing fold.
Good mix of ages.
Brotherhood, yeah.
Nice one. And because you've had a long career and you've got a bit of paper in your hand, Paul, any shout-outs you want to mention? just while you're here.
Yeah,
anybody you want to mention too?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the people that I remember. There was only, it was actually, I was trying to go through my old opponents and that, and it was just to remember them. It was we were just talking about opponents and stuff, and I remember a fight obviously fought Tony Tucker, Tim Witherspoon, there's Kev McCormack, who was I think he was 3 or 4 time ABA champion, 7 times Welsh ABA champion. I fought him in the combined services. Then there was Danny Watts, rest in peace, who was a combined service as well, Mark Potter, Dominic Negus, Craig Bowen-Price. There's quite a few British champions that I got in there and come second to, unfortunately, the nature of boxing. Just not think of any of the other names I haven't mentioned here. There's my old trainer down in Norwich, Mr. Graham Everett, like a good friend of mine, and he was one of the men that started me off boxing. He was the captain of Norwich City Boxing Club then, and he sort of like schooled me all the way through my early ABAs. And obviously when I came out to train at the Fellow Warriors, I was training with a guy called Tommy Todd and Bernard O'Hagan. Bernard O'Hagan's a bit of a comedian, like he used to keep us laughing all the way down when I was driving. My old friend Chris Duncan, who helps me in the train here now, he was a driver, he used to drive us all over the country. I had 187 fights in total, and 75 of them were the unlicensed variation of fighting. And we used to drive, it was short notice, so we were always going over the country. It was down to London, up to Glasgow, and it was just short notice, and you just get in there. But it was good days, like, you know what I mean?
Nice one. And the big question, when it eventually happen, which hopefully it will when the politics get sorted out, AJ and Tyson Fury, how do you see it playing out?
In my opinion, it'll be, I'm a big Fury fan, and I see him outboxing AJ. AJ is very powerful, he might even put him down on the deck, but as we're seeing with Wilder, Fury can get up, he's got amazing resilience, and they get up, and I think he'll box his way to victory.
Okay.
Right.
Nice one. A lot of people are probably thinking the same. I want Fury to win, so that's my unbiased opinion. So Paul, for that, for your time, mate. Thank you very much.
Yep,
And we'll see you next time, mate.
Yep,
Take care,
thank
mate.
you.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers. And we've got 3 lads here from last event. Going to say a few words, how they found things, etc. First lad here, what's your name, please?
It's Mark.
Okay, Mark. How did you find the last event?
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Great show. Just really good to do.
So, how did you find the training here at Flats now in the time before your fight? How did you find things?
Yeah, it was really good. The training's been really good. Chris and Paul have done such a good job of training the fighters up, you know, for conditioning, for experience of body sparring, just that experience of being in the ring and just gaining the skills and knowledge of boxing as well. Just, you know, improving yourself, improving your defence, improving your fighting skills.
Thanks for that. And moving along here, what's your name there, please?
It's Bob.
Bob, is it Bob the Cod, is it?
Bob the Cod.
Bob the Cod, what a name that is. Okay, Bob, last event, how did you find it? Same questions, basically.
Great. I never thought I'd ever end up in a boxing ring. I'm 46 years old. Like I say, I've lost like 2.5 stone in 4 months. Thought I'd never do that, you know, and getting into boxing's been great. More confidence, feel healthier myself. I feel really good, mate.
Nice one. Same thing then, the training, how have you found the training, mate?
I mean, yeah, I found the training fantastic. I think what having a boxing match or an exhibition, which I had, does for you is it just adds purpose to your training, obviously, that we do at the gym. It's just so exciting and there's just such it just always keeps it interesting. For example, you can do sprinting, bag work, sparring, just anything for your fitness kind of. It's just very good, and also it's great to learn boxing and compete. Okay, in a word, would you recommend anybody else to come down here?
Yes.
We've got the answer. Real good there.
Brilliant.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.